This is Katie, co-host of Coffee with Keith and Katie. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Confessions of a Military Spouse, where we dig deep and talk about the unspoken hard truths of what it's really like to be a military spouse. A new show comes out bi-weekly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Confessions of a Military Spouse. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media. Welcome to Choose to Rise, where today we're going to be talking about falling in love with yourself. To fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness by Robert Marley. And I love that quote. Earlier this week, we talked about falling in love with this is the love month. We've talked about happiness and what is true happiness. And today we're going to be talking about falling in love with yourself. And the only way that you can love other people is if you love yourself and you can truly know who you are and truly love who God made you to be. So to fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness. Again, welcome to Choose to Rise, where today we're going to be talking about self-love. We're going to be talking about why it's important. We're going to be talking about how you can do it. And we're going to be talking about just, being who God made you to be. If you want to connect with me more, you can head over to Choose to Rise Up on Facebook. It's tagged here in this post. And as well as you can also head over to ChooseToRiseUp.com, learn more about my story, about who I am, why I do this awesome thing, and why I love sharing positivity and uplifting information to all of you. So thanks so much for being here today. All right, to fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness, Robert Morley. Man, let's talk about how we can start loving ourselves a little bit more, because you know what? If we are not loving us, who is going to love us? Well, number one, the person who's going to love us is our maker, our creator. He created us to be this perfect being, and we diss on ourselves. We diss on his creation all the time. When we look in that mirror and are unhappy with what we see, when we put ourselves down, the negative self-talk is running through our head. And you can find yourself spiraling downward or getting yourself in a rut when we just aren't loving who we are made to be. So when you just can't seem to understand where your efforts and attempts are keeping you going in life, you're just not being joyful, and wherever you're going, that's when you need to really start checking yourself on how much you love yourself. Yeah. So in the last few years, I've really found myself in one of those ruts. After spinning my wheels for quite some time, I realized my so-called attempts to improve my circumstances were not really working out so well. So I just need to figure out what it was that made me tick. I needed to find some things. I needed to create some new routines. I needed to get going in the area of positive self-talk, in self-improvement and self-development, and continuing to move forward in my life. So when I changed up my perception of where I was, I changed up the thought process of who God made me to be, and I really started to make changes in my life, choices in my life to lead to changes in my life that took me out of living in a day of misery and put me in a positive attitude and put me into an attitude of gratitude and helped me overcome the things that were holding me back, the views of society that told me I needed to be a perfect this or perfect that. And I just really started to focus in on who God made me to be and be there. So today I'm going to give you 10 tips. I'm going to show you, go through a few things with you about what you can do to get out of that rut, how you can start focusing on loving who you are. And just in time for the International Valentine's Day, learning to love who you are so that others can love you as well, and that you can accept their love and their gratitude and their peace with you, and you can love yourself, and so you can love others as well. So number one is evaluate your expectations. To every situation is a reasonable expectation. Most situations have a number of possible outcomes. Tell yourself the truth and avoid building castles in the air that will only set you up for disappointments. Disappointment is usually unmet expectations. So if you're setting yourself way too high, you have to kind of put yourself at 5 feet outside of your comfort zone. And luck is going to play in the favor. Sometimes it's going to be there for you. But when you really tap into the things that you are expected to do in life, that you are really moving forward with, that's where you can keep your expectations real. You can set your sights high on things and continue to move towards them, but know that it's going to take some time to get there. To lose 50 pounds in a week isn't going to happen. You're going to be disappointed that you didn't hit that goal. But setting reasonable goals, evaluating your expectations and saying, hey, I bet I could lose 50 pounds this year if I did it 2 pounds at a time. If I was able to keep moving in a way that's going to help me, if I can focus on the actions that are going to help me get to that end goal, that's where I can focus my time. So evaluate your expectations. The second one is to invest in your craft. You should be spending more time and resources on anything but yourself, right? Work on you. And when you can be the strongest, most powerful, most beautiful being in the world in your own head, then that's when you can go out and overflow into things. I always like to use the Rachel Hollis metaphor of when a vase stands tall, and the love and the support and everything pours into it from everyone around you, from your God, from everyone around you. Fill that vase. And a lot of times we try to invest in other people more than we invest in ourselves. So we take that vase of us, that vessel of who we are, and we start tipping it. We start trying to turn it and pour into other people, investing in other people. But when you can stand tall in that vase, eventually when that vase is tipping, it's emptying itself. It's you can't sustain it, right? And eventually it tips so far and it smashes and it crashes and it burns. And we've all been to that burning point, right? But when we can stand tall and we can stay connected to our maker, when we can stay connected to the self-love, and we can really focus on filling ourselves with positivity and uplifting support and encouragement and love, self-love, then that's when everything flows in, and eventually you start overflowing and everyone around you gets a better piece of you and you're filled up in the process. So I absolutely love that metaphor from Rachel Hollis that she talks about in her book, Girl Wash Your Face. And I love just sharing that with people because it's so true. When you can stand tall and be filled up yourself, you will overflow to the people around you and you will be filled up. They will get the best of you. They will get more of you than you could ever expect, and everyone wins there. So invest in yourself, invest in your craft. When you show love to yourself by getting yourself to be better at your own skills, you are blessing the world with the things that God created you to be amazing in. So there's no doubt, if there's nothing that's there for you to kind of hold back, like money shouldn't be an object either. Spend the things that you have on yourself, and that you can't ignore the importance of your strengths. When you can grow your strengths and use your blessings that you have, that God's given you to be a part of your life, that's how you go bless the rest of the world. Pour into the strengths that you have inside of you. The next one is attract good karma. Yep. Don't spend your days too careful and worrying about doing things that may attract unwanted events in your life. And you end up being bland, you end up being bored, you end up being drugged down by the negativity. Instead, you should spend your days actively being kind, actively being nice, actively being happy for people, actively putting good energy out there so that good energy comes back. A lot of it is a boomerang effect. And so what you put out there comes back. And if you're putting out positive energy, you're going to get positive energy. What you focus on, you create more of. The next one is love your body. Yes, you'd be surprised at how many people hate life because they hate their body. This being that God gave you, this vessel that he gave you to have this life in here on this earth, is something to be respected. It's something to be loved. It's something that you only get one of. So make sure that you're taking care of it. It's super important to find a way to love the body that you live in. Eat right, work out, move more, love yourself more, fill your head and your heart with positive things. Your body will go where your mind takes it. And when you feel like you look good, when you can love who God's made you to be and the creature that he's made you, you automatically feel good and you automatically have more to give to other people. So take those little stares, those little compliments, those little smiles when people look at you, and give them back to other people, because they all go a long way. You know, when someone gives you a comment, a high five, you are looking fabulous. Make sure you spread that love out to other people too. The next one is learn to receive love. Yeah, don't be a bouncing act where you just reject everything or you reflect all the good things in your life. Accept them. Accept help from friends when they offer it. Accept compliments when they are directed at you. Let yourself be loved in the tiny ways that you don't always allow yourself to be, and watch how much easier it becomes to accept the self-love inside of you too. When you can soak that in and then receive it, a lot of women especially will say, oh, someone says, oh, you have a beautiful dress. Oh, this old thing. Or, they're saying, oh, you're looking fabulous today. You're like, oh, yeah. And like they deflect it in some sort of way. Don't do that. Accept the love and praise. You can say thank you. You can, even if you don't feel it right away, saying thank you puts the boundary out a little bit farther, and you can accept their compliment because it makes them feel good to give you a compliment. It makes you feel good to accept the compliment. So do it. The next one is put yourself first. Stop trying to please others in a way that you end up cheating yourself out of happiness. It's so simple, but it's so hard to do, right? Stop cheating yourself out of happiness. Have you considered your own state of well-being when someone asks you to do something? Have you asked yourself, how is this going to work in my schedule? Is this going to derail the things that I have planned for me today? Think about the obvious schedule malfunctions that you might have if someone's asking you to do other things, but always put yourself first. Fill your vase first, right? And then let those things overflow. If you have extra time in your day, go help and celebrate other people. If you have more things in your day that you need to accomplish in yourself, protect that time for you. So if someone's going to try to force you to do something that you obviously will make you unhappy, you should think about spending less time with those people, right? When someone's always trying to make you feel guilty for doing the things that are going to lift you up and that are going to help you reach your goals, those aren't the people that are going to support you to get to the places that you want to be. Cut them out of your life. The next one is acknowledge your accomplishments. This one is hard for me, and it is hard for a lot of women who are really working towards things. We don't oftentimes celebrate the fact where we've gotten to. And giving yourself a pat on the back for a good job well done, it gives you a feeling of success. It provides encouragement for you to keep going, and it creates the opportunity for more success in your life. Acknowledge the wins that you've had. Don't just slough them off as like, hey, I did that, check mark, and move on, because you don't ever feel the success and you get tired and worn down, and there's nothing to kind of fall back to. It's kind of like taking the stairs. When you get to the top of that next stair, you celebrate the fact that you're there, and then you climb to the next one, and you climb to the next one, and you celebrate each level as you get there. A lot of times we feel like things are more of like a straight line, or kind of like a 45-degree angle, where you just keep climbing and you don't ever stop to celebrate. You never look back at where you've been. And then that's where when you keep climbing and you get tired, you're like, this isn't worth it, because you haven't done any celebrating. You haven't acknowledged any of your accomplishments to get you to that point. So the more you acknowledge your wins, the more motivated you are to keep going, the more you will achieve your next goal that you set for yourself. So do that. Love how and where you've gotten yourself. The next one is practicing gratitude. You've heard me talk about this a million times over, and it's because it's so true. When you live your life in a state of gratitude, you maintain an awareness of all the things that are good in your life, and you focus less on what's not working. And when you acknowledge what is going right in your life, it's impossible to become stuck in a negative way. When I talk about having an attitude of gratitude, it's because I start my day with gratitude. I thank God for the little things in life. I thank you for the big things in life. When something is going wrong in my day, I can flip my mindset now that I've really been practicing this and really finding the good that's going on. When you can focus on the good, more good will come into your life. When you can practice gratitude, more positive things will be there for you. Look for the good. The next one is live in the present. Many of us find it difficult to enjoy the present reality because we're always so busy thinking about the past, worrying about all the things that went wrong in our life, really focusing on the things that we can't even change anymore, or we're worrying about the future and what's beyond our control. But what we can really focus on is now. Well, learning from the past and planning for our future are super beneficial to our lives. We also need to focus on what we're happening right now, because the decisions that we make in the now are what dictate how we've responded from the past and how we move forward with joy and move forward with confidence and how we move forward with a good plan for our future to create the things that we want to create, to live the life that we want to live. We have to focus on the decisions of our now so we get to where we want to go in our future. The last one I have for you is appreciate the small things. I truly love life when you can really love the little things in your day. Yesterday afternoon, I got to sit down with my son for about 40 minutes and just talk. He's 10, almost 10. He's 9 now. And he he just is full of questions, and he's full of amazing little thoughts that go through his little head. And it's just so fun to just sit and talk. Like, we're together a lot. We, travel and doing things. We're involved in a lot of things in his life, but like, just to really sit down in the quiet and talk to him and hear his little voice and hear how he thinks and hear what his aspirations are in life and answer his questions. Living in the present was how I was able to do that, but appreciating the little things of just getting to sit quietly and talk to him, being appreciative of being able to do this. This is more of a big thing, but appreciating the fact that I can talk, that I can share my thoughts and my what's changed my life so I can help change your life, and making a list of simple things that make you happy, so that when you need a little pick-me-up, you can go have your favorite lunch, that you can listen to your favorite song, you can go take a walk and appreciate the beautiful scenery and nature around you. Make a schedule for yourself that you can appreciate the little things all the time, right? So look in your day, reflect on your day with that attitude of gratitude, and think about all the good things that were a part of your day. Think about all of the things that were a part of your life and what you want to do with it. And then when you are moving forward in that way, then you can just love yourself a little bit more. So thanks for joining me today. I am so excited that you're here with me. I appreciate you being here. I'm appreciating that you're a part of my life and that you're part of this podcast. I would not be here if it wasn't for you. I mean, I'm going to keep showing up regardless, but I hope and pray that you find somebody else to share this message with today, that you encourage someone else to come back here. And if you loved this show, I hope that you come back and find past episodes on Choose to Rise on Apple Podcasts or Podbean or wherever you're getting your podcasts, and that you leave a rating and review so it helps others find the show as well. And that I get to connect with you there, because when you leave your rating review, I get to know who you are and what you love about it and give more of what it is that you love here. So appreciate the small things, live in the present, practice gratitude, acknowledge the accomplishments that you have in your life, put yourself first, learn to receive love who God made you to be in your body, attract good karma, invest in yourself, evaluate your expectations, and live life with positivity and love for who God made you to be, and to absolutely live your absolute best life. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you again here soon.